Welcome back. How are you going to blacken the fish?
Huh?
How are you going to blacken the fish?
I got a blackening seasoning, and then
But then do you like put them in the...
like cast iron skillet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never blackened fish before.
Oh, really? You
Yeah.
want to come over tonight?
I have a roast I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, but you said it was still frozen.
No, it was kind of frozen, so it's going to take a little bit longer to cook. It's in...
Maybe you should come over and have one or two tacos while you wait for it to thaw out.
Maybe.
It's not a bad idea.
It sounds pretty good.
Welcome back to Tough Men of Faith.
Yeah, welcome back. Talking all things cooking. Maybe we should do a cooking episode. Get that mic up, man. This is 101 episodes. What is wrong with you?
Yeah,
Blake shouldn't have to still be yelling at
I
you.
totally forgot.
It's like episode 1.
Yeah.
You have to keep stopping,
That was rough,
getting
wasn't
yelled at. Yeah, well,
Episode 100 was fun.
yeah.
That was a good time.
Yeah, came there's no plan, did it?
Yeah.
But back to it. Like, should we do an episode on cooking?
We can if you want.
I don't know.
Me to school you through the kitchen?
Yeah, teach me how you boil steak.
Hold on. Look here, you caveman. We're not boiling it, okay? We're heating it up with water.
It sounds like boiling steak.
I know, I get it, but man.
Yeah. The cow I just got, they gave me boiling beef. I didn't know what that was. I've never seen it.
What is it?
I don't know. I think it's...
I bet it loses all of its flavor when you boil it.
It's not made for boiling. I know that.
Okay.
But I think it has some big bones in it, so I don't know if it's like some type of short rib.
Oh, maybe it's like what you use for like bone stock.
Well, that's what I did. Is I took it, seared it, not seared it. I put it in the oven just for a short time to kind of get it browned, and then took the bones out, cracked them open, threw it in a crock pot.
Okay.
With some water and.
Can you eat bone marrow? That's a thing.
Yeah, I throw it in. I mean, I throw it in a crock pot when I get bone marrow, like the bones with it.
Okay.
And then let it set for about, I don't know, 24 hours with some water and onions and.
We were at a restaurant the other
it.
day, and they had bone marrow. As an appetizer.
Yeah.
It's like
$7.
No, I should have tried it.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was the cheapest thing on their menu. Water was more expensive than this.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that's the best way to. We're not giving advice, but I throw mine in the crock pot, let it set there for 24 hours, and then the bone broth's good for you to drink.
I just don't cook things I don't know about, so.
Yeah.
I don't wing it.
Well, I cooked a heart, the beef heart.
Oh, yeah. How was that? Oh, yeah. I mean, that was really good.
Did you try it?
Oh, no.
You were there. Like, you could have tried it, right? You didn't?
No.
It was in chili.
Yeah.
Blake, did you try it? The beef heart?
Yeah, I didn't know it was that.
It was pretty hearty, right?
It was pretty good. You wouldn't have known. It was good. And then the tongue.
Oh, yeah, you did.
You tried a tongue?
No, I didn't try anything.
It's like a good brisket, man.
Yeah, I heard the tongue
Blake,
tastes
you
like
tried a tongue?
grass, so.
I tried all the chilies.
He tried the chili. No, he didn't try the tongue.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Huh. Yeah, we should have a cooking one.
Yeah.
We'll blacken some fish, cook some steaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could just do like a cast iron show, like the best use of cast iron.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what you like to use, right?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
I prefer to use cast
That's what
iron.
I use cast iron for almost everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
And I don't let my wife clean it.
It's the one thing.
Dude, I'm scared to death she's going to put soap on it and ruin it or put it in the dishwasher. And
My daughters are hilarious. They always clean up dinner.
Yeah.
It's like their one thing. Like, well, they do more than one thing.
Yeah.
But cleaning up dinner is their thing. And they know to never touch the cast iron.
Yeah.
Because.
yeah, just let me handle that.
So I have multiple cast iron pans.
Yeah,
but
we
I have
do too.
3 that I use all the time. They're same size. They're large ones.
Okay.
And I keep telling them, like, this is your wedding gift.
Yeah.
Like, so they know
Right.
it. It's always a joke. And I'm serious. Like, that's the reason I got 3, because you don't need 3. All you
Right.
need is 1.
Yeah.
So I alternate about every week on which one I'm using.
I have some of my great grandma's cast iron.
Yeah.
Same thing. I got it, dude. It was all covered in rust. I refurbished it and
Yeah.
reseasoned it. And, it's cool. And I'm like, just nobody's allowed to touch it.
Yeah.
No, you can't borrow it. Don't even look at it. So
Well,
it's kind of funny, though. Hey, do you know the best way to clean cast iron? Like when you cook some stuff in it?
no.
We use coarse salt, like really coarse salt,
Yeah.
and then like a sponge, and just use the coarse salt to break
Yeah.
up the stuff on
And
the
then
cast
some
iron.
dish soap.
Nope. Anyway,
All right. So speaking of taking care of things,
yeah.
today we're going to do an episode on something I don't know if we've ever talked about this. In 100 episodes we've had on the Tough Men of Faith show, never talked about this.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're going to call it. Blake comes up with the titles.
Yeah.
But taking care of your mother.
Oh, okay.
Or taking care, I think we'd call it like taking care of your mom's a gospel issue, or the gospel demands we take care of our mom, or something like that.
Okay. We'll let Blake come up with a title.
You look so confused. It's the reason I don't have creative sermon titles. Like,
Yeah.
I
You just don't title them.
no, I don't.
Just wing it.
Yeah.
You're good at that.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Like, how you treat your parents. Well, today we're looking specifically mom. Even though you can interchange parents for most of what we talk about. So how
Okay.
you treat your parents, even after you leave the house, is a sign of your faith
Okay.
or lack of faith that you have.
Yeah.
So we have the example in Scripture, like there's a way you're supposed to treat your parents, honor your parents. That doesn't stop when you just
Yeah.
leave the house.
Yeah. When you turn 19 or whatever and leave the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a couple scriptures to look at. John chapter 19, you have that.
I have a couple.
John 19, 25, 27 is where we have Jesus on the cross.
But standing by the cross of Jesus were his mother and his mother's sister, Mary, the wife of Clopas.
That's close enough.
Okay. I'm going to do like you and just read it really fast. Yep. And Mary Magdalene. When Jesus saw his mother and the disciple whom he loved standing nearby, he said to his mother, "Woman, behold your son." Then he said to the disciple, "Behold your mother." And from that hour, the disciple took her to his own home.
Yes, you see Jesus dying on the cross here,
Yeah.
bearing the weight of the sins of the world, right?
Right.
Like literally, like going through the worst possible thing you
Yeah,
could go
misery.
through. And he's concerned about his mother.
Yeah.
I mean, that speaks volumes, right? Like as an example for us.
Yeah.
What?
Nothing biblical jokes. I'm not going to make them today.
Okay.
You know.
All right.
Anyway.
You want to turn to 1 Timothy?
Yeah, I can do that.
And then there's another scripture, 1 Timothy 5, read verse 4 through 8.
Not that one.
Nope,
What's that? 1 Timothy 5.
4 through 8.
No. I got the numbers confused.
Okay.
4 through 8. But if a widow has children or grandchildren, let them first learn to show godliness to their own household and to make some return to their parents, for this is pleasing to the sight of God. She who is truly a widow, left all alone, has set her hope on God and continues in supplications and prayers night and day. But she who is self-indulgent and dead is dead even while she lives. Command these things as well, so that they may be without reproach. But if anyone does not provide for his relatives, and especially for members of his household, he has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever.
Yeah. So it's, I think, showing there like the importance of taking care of those in your household.
Yeah.
But specifically talking about a widow there in verse 4, that she has children or grandchildren, let them first show godliness to their own household. Then it has a line there in Scripture to say to make some return to their parents.
Yeah.
So it's that idea of like rendering what is due to your parents.
Right.
Right. So, and if you don't do that, it's like you're a pretty messed up person.
Yeah.
Right. If you're
Yeah,
not
for
willing
sure.
to do that, I think he uses the language that you're worse than an unbeliever. But it's just like, this is not good. If you claim to be a Christian, you claim to be a man of faith,
Right.
and then you don't take care of your mother.
Yeah. Yeah, it's worse than not being a believer. 'Cause
Yeah.
you know you should. You know this
Yeah.
is the right thing to do, and you refuse to do it.
Yeah. Well, you think about, so it says return it to your parents.
Yeah.
When you think about what all your mom did for you,
Right. Yeah.
there's no way you're going to be able to repay her.
Yeah. There's
Is that right?
Yeah. There's a line I'm drawing at a few areas. You know.
But the cost of raising kids,
Right.
like I can imagine like little Nicholas
He was awesome.
as a little
Yeah,
kid.
he was mostly naked in cowboy boots, but
Not just the money that it takes to raise kids, which we
Yeah.
know that's like trying
Right.
to feed a kid,
Yeah.
but then the energy that it takes, the sleepless nights,
Yeah.
the giving them wisdom they're not going to listen to.
are you still talking about Nicholas here?
No, I'm just talking about in general to the men listening to this podcast, what all their moms had to go through.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you see, like when you, I'm going to be careful here because I don't want my own mom to take this, but if you looked at my mom before she had children,
Yeah.
and then you looked at my mom after raising my sister and I,
Yeah.
she looked a little different.
Well, mostly just your sister, right?
Yeah. But they were this expending everything they have for
Right.
you,
Yep.
like whatever you needed.
Yep. They put everything into it, and would you do that for your mom?
Yeah, and would you return? So you return that? Yeah.
I mean, that would be a tough one. I mean,
It is, but Scripture is clear. Like, hey, you should be taking care of
Yep.
of your family, of your mother, honoring your parents. And so, what I see in that Scripture, like as believers, I should never have to hear from my mom. After all I've done for you, can't you help me with this?
Exactly.
Because that's right there. Render it back to him. Like,
Yep.
my mom should never have to say that.
Right.
I should be proactive in that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And take care of your mom.
Take care of
Well,
it.
you
We'll
know,
get to some practical things
As
at the end. I think.
guys, we're probably going to die before our spouse.
Yeah.
Statistically, guys are going to die first, and
Yeah. That's true.
Your mom's going to need to be upheld and lifted up and taken care of at times. Later in life, that's going to become a thing.
Augustine once said, if anyone fails to honor his parents, is there anyone he won't spare?
Right.
Or anyone he will spare?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's that idea, like, if you won't take care of your mom,
yeah, will you take care of anyone?
well, you're going to take care of anyone.
Right.
I think it's tough.
How are you going to put somebody before your mom? Or,
Right.
Before your parents.
I think the hard thing when it comes to this, like, because I think sometimes there's some pushback, but you don't know my mom. She wasn't a great mom, or she didn't do a good job. But
right.
could your mom and dad done a better job as parents? Probably.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, we're all winging it. There's no book.
There's no book that comes with
there's
it.
a bunch of books that tell you how to do it, but we're all winging it.
Yeah.
And
But
they were winging it.
We're commanded as believers.
And they were winging it before the internet.
That's true. They couldn't Google or use AI to figure out how to be a better parent. I typed in AI yesterday.
Yeah.
I have it on my phone now. Karen calls it my best friend.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
She calls it my best
Do
friend.
you use it?
I started using it in
For sermons.
No, I haven't used it
I
for
see
sermons.
what you're doing.
I've started using them in some different ways to see how we could utilize it. But I typed in, what advice do you have for a dad of 3 teenage daughters? And it gave me like all this list of stuff. It's pretty funny. But
Did I mention that they're redhead daughters? And it just says, run.
Yeah, I actually typed that in. So after that, I said, well, they're 3 redhead daughters. And it gave me more advice. So anyways, back to it. We're commanded to, as believers, to honor our parents, not because they did a good job, but we're commanded to honor them.
Yep.
So you don't honor your mom because you think she deserves it,
Right.
but because God tells you to.
Yeah, exactly.
So whether you think she deserves it or not, you're called to do it.
Yep.
Which I think changes our perspective.
It should.
Because you're honoring God in the process.
Yeah, exactly.
By honoring your mom, you're really honoring God. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's convicting when you think about it. That really comes down, like most things, right, to the gospel, that if you struggle with honoring your mom because she wasn't a great mom, you look to the gospel that you weren't very good to God, but He adopted you into His family. That reconciliation takes
you
place.
weren't necessarily a very good kid too. That it took some shaping and molding to get you to where you're at.
Yeah.
And you also wouldn't be here without your parents.
Yeah.
So take that into consideration too. They might not have been the best, but your life wouldn't be here today without them.
Yeah. And I think the other part of this is how you treat your mom sends a message of what you really believe about the gospel.
Yeah, I agree.
So the world looking in, if they see, man, RT claims to be a Christian, but he doesn't do anything for his mom. He just talks bad about his mom. He's not really taking care of his mom. Like, that sends a gospel message. Right. Like, he's not really following Scripture if he's doing that.
He just talks about it on Sunday and then gets on his private jet and goes down to the Caribbean.
That's it.
And he's back next
Down
Saturday
to
night.
Florida Keys. Yeah. But, society sometimes thinks we can forget about the elderly and kind of push them off to the side and not have anything to do with them and put them over here and go live our life. But that's not what Scripture's like, no, you got to
Right. Well, I've said this before, too. It's like some of the best conversations I've had are with older people. People that have lived it, seen it, done it. People that have regrets and people that, are proud of some of the things that they've done and accomplished. And some of those conversations, I mean, certain people, you can sit around for hours and talk and listen. And sometimes that's taking care of them as well.
Yeah.
Just giving them some kind of companionship or friendship.
Yeah. So I wrote down 6 things right before this podcast started that you can do for your mom to help honor, show you care for them. So nothing scientific or really.
Should have asked AI.
Not too late.
Yeah.
I should have. It'd have been a better list probably. All right, here's number 1.
Yeah.
Tell them that you love them.
Yep. Regularly.
Yes. Yeah. Moms, I think they want to hear that.
Yeah, they need to hear it, I think,
Yeah. And even if that's not your love language of
Right.
saying that, like,
write it down.
write it down.
Send
Do
her
something.
flowers, send her a card.
Yeah.
Moms love that, or mine does.
Yeah, and I think knowing your mom,
Yeah.
Yeah. I would not send my mom flowers, but
Really?
yeah,
Okay.
that's definitely not her.
Send her like a cactus.
Yeah. The other thing's do something for her.
Yeah.
We live in the Midwest. It snows. Go
Right.
shovel the driveway.
Yeah.
Or,
Some kind of act of service.
yeah.
Something that's not necessarily easy for you to do or easy for them to do. You know, take a burden off of them.
Yeah. This next one's going to catch you off guard a little bit.
Oh, great.
I mean, not applying it to you.
Okay.
Love your siblings.
Yeah. That's all parents want to see,
Man.
especially when they get older, is that you love your siblings.
I feel it. Like, I never understood that
Yep.
until I have kids now who are starting. They are adults, and
Yeah.
young adults, and more than anything, I want them to care about each other.
Oh yeah.
Not
Yeah, I
more than
remember.
anything.
I think my dad and my uncle felt like they didn't speak for years, and it drove my grandmother nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, it broke her heart that her kids weren't speaking, and
Yeah.
it's just. In the end, it was probably a pride thing just between
Yeah.
the two guys, but they didn't realize how many other people it affected.
Yeah. So I think as a parent, they know that, hey, my time on earth is going to be shorter than yours. Like, I don't have as much time left if things go naturally. But to know that you're going to take care of your brother and sister if you
Right.
have one.
Yeah.
That you're going to be there for each other. That
Yeah, you
means
guys
a
are
lot
going to be
to
a
them.
family.
Yeah. Listen to her.
Yeah.
Listen to her and share with her as well.
This goes back to another podcast episode where we try to fix everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, your mom's just like other women in your life where they just need you to listen. They
Yeah.
need somebody to listen and pay attention, and
Yeah.
they don't necessarily need advice. They just need somebody to talk to.
Yeah. The fifth one I wrote down was to ask for their opinion.
Okay. I like it.
I mean, moms have wisdom, right?
They do, yeah.
And what I found, my mom knows me well.
Really?
So, yeah, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So she usually knows when I'm about to make a stupid decision.
Yeah.
She already knows I'm going to make a stupid decision.
Right.
And if I'd ask her opinion, she'd probably let me know that I'm going to make a stupid
yeah.
decision.
Yeah. I like your mom for that.
I would have been saved a lot of heartaches if I'd asked my mom for some advice on some things.
And
before
then
I did
followed it.
Yes, and followed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And the sixth one I wrote down was to plan some time with them.
Yeah, for sure. Spend time with your parents or your mom. Or,
Yeah.
It
It gets harder, right? If you get
Absolutely.
kids of your own,
Yeah.
or you get busy at work.
I mean, we
you
don't
got-
even have kids, and it gets hard to
Yeah,
find
you just
time.
get
And
busy
you fill your life up with so much other stuff. But
Yeah.
like we plan, a bi-weekly or at least once or twice a month, just
Yeah.
dinner, and we have dinner. And
Yeah. And I think be proactive in that. Don't always wait for your mom to
Oh, yeah.
bother
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
or
you
nag
schedule
to-
it.
Yeah, like you reach out. Hey,
Yeah.
when can we get together?
Right.
What can I do? Yeah, that type of thing. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
She started that years ago. It's funny. She started that years ago. She'd take me out to dinner on my birthday, and she'd always want to go shop somewhere,
Yeah.
with a $26 budget or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, it doesn't matter. It was the thought.
Yep.
And now it's funny that we carried the dinner thing over, and we do that
Okay.
regularly.
Yeah, so I just want to bring this up at least to put it on guys' radar
Yeah.
because I know it falls off mine sometimes.
Right. Mother's Day is coming up in 6 months, so you guys be ready.
Mother's Day, it's not that far off, right?
No, I don't think so. Was
May?
it May?
It's in May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Couple
right.
months.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you haven't, go ahead and get your mom something. Get on it early this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buy her a cactus.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us on
Yeah,
Tough
this
Men
was
of Faith.
fun.
This has been a good episode
Yep.
for 101.
One.
Make sure you subscribe on YouTube,
Yep. And Instagrams.
Instagram, like and share it. Look for the reels of
Yeah, the
Nick
reels are
dropping
kind of fun to watch.
wisdom bombs.
I was looking up. Funny thing, I work with some Amish guys,
Yeah.
and so I was watching YouTube videos a couple days ago, and one of the reels popped up of this, and they're like, "Why are you on YouTube?" Like, well, you can watch it now. I don't have to worry about you going home and sharing it with your friends.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, it is.
So,
All right.
all right, see y'all next time.
See you.